Hi guys, Howard here with For No One from the Beatles, a Paul McCartney composition, I'm sure. And for those of you who watch the channel on a regular basis, you know that I love taking keyboard tunes and putting them on guitar, working out some kind of arrangement for it. So that's exactly what I've done here. The song's in the key of B, so I've got the guitar capoed at the 2nd fret to make this piece feasible on guitar, and I'm in standard tuning, okay? So let's dive right in. The first thing we want to do is we've got a string of chords, all of which are pretty simple. We've got an A major triad, 5 on the B string, 6 on the G string, 7 on the A string. We want to hit the open A string and then play that triad 3 times. And you can see that I'm popping the chord so that it sounds nice and staccato. Okay, then we move to the 4th fret from the capo on the 6th string, and we're forming a C sharp minor with the remaining fingers. So that's the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th fret from the capo on the B string, and then 6 and 6 on the G and the D. So we hit that bass note and we pop the chord the same way. That might be a little bit tricky, but I think with a little practice you can get that, because you want the bass note to sustain through that chord. So now we have, all right, and then we move the bass note to the 2nd fret from the capo down here. And the best thing to do is just bar across all 6 strings and then place your ring finger on the D string at the 4th fret. Now that one's going to be tougher to pop, right? Because you're barring and those notes are going to sustain through. So there's a couple of ways you can do it. You can mute it very quickly with your pick, just coming back like that. But I do kind of pop that finger anyway. I think it kind of helps a little bit, but it's hard to get that one to pop just as much as the 2 previous ones because you are barring straight across. But at the tempo it's played, you shouldn't notice it too much. Right, that sounds kind of okay. And sorry about the rattling and buzzing, but sometimes with the capo on, it just kind of tortures the guitar, okay? So once again, we have... So the 4th chord in line here is, just think of it as an A, a standard A bar chord. And it's an open E string. So it's like an A over E, just like that C sharp over the G sharp. So we have... And then we move to a standard D chord, so now we are swinging off of the D string and playing the first 3 strings staccato. So that one's pretty easy to do because you can let that D string ring and pop the chord, okay? Then we go to a G chord, and I'm playing it like this. I'm barring across all 6 strings at the 3rd fret, and then of course I'm playing the 4th fret on the G string, and then the 5th fret on the D string. So we hit the bass note, and we want to connect with the B, the G, and the D. And again, you can mute in the right hand really quickly if you want to, or just kind of pop the chord. Again, at tempo, you don't really notice it too much. It sounds pretty good. But you do want to try to get that bass note to ring out. So we move from the D to that. Back to that regular A chord shape, and I'm swinging off of the A string now. And that's another one that's easy to make staccato because you can just pop your finger off and on. And as a note, you'll notice that the last stroke of each chord, it's actually sustained, so you're not playing. You want to try to let it ring through as much as possible. And again, at tempo, you won't have a lot of time for that, but it does make a difference in the way it sounds. So there's only 2 sections to the whole song, and this is the A section. So let's play through all of that again, nice and slow. notes, you play that A chord twice at the end. And then you repeat that whole section again. So then we move to the B section. We could do it the same way. We could just go. But I think it's more interesting to kind of grab a little bit of that keyboardy thing where the notes are just kind of rolling around. So this is a cross-picking pattern, and it's played like so. We're on a B minor chord. You can see the tab up on the screen, but let me explain what I'm doing in the right hand. So I'm playing down, down, up, down, up, up, down, up. Down, down, up, down, up, up, down, up. And then we move to an F sharp 7th chord. And again, I'm playing this by barring straight across at the 2nd fret, all 6 strings. I'm going to play the same picking pattern I just played, the same cross picking pattern, but I'm going to skip the A string. So we have from the B minor to the F sharp 7. That sounds kind of nice, very classical, if you will. Now, this next part I'm going to explain really carefully because it took me a moment to work out exactly how I wanted to do this and capture it. So what I did is I came back to the B minor chord, and all I play is the A string, then I swing down to the B string with an upstroke, and then a downstroke on the D string. So coming off of the F dominant 7th chord, we have just that movement right there. You don't even have to put your pinky down, or even bar if you don't want to. And then we start the hybrid picking. Now you can see that on the screen. I'm using my pick for the bassier notes, and of course using this finger to pluck simultaneously the other strings. So it's up on the screen with the tab, which is the easiest way to explain this. But let me do that again real slow. Right? So when you land that last one, you want to get right back into the shape of the B minor chord and finish out the arpeggio that you would normally play. And what I mean by that is we want to go so you can see that anticipation, if you will, on the upbeat takes the place of those first 2 strokes of the arpeggio that we played a moment ago. And I end it like that, even though you can hear again on the recording. 3 times before you go to that. But I like playing the notes of the chord. For guitar, it seems to work out a little bit better because you don't lose the sustain of those B notes. So let me play that whole section nice and slow, okay? And then we'll explain the tail end of it. So the chord at the end is an E suspended, 2nd fret A string, 2nd fret D string, 2nd fret G string, and I'm not playing the first 2 strings with this. Hit the top 4 strings, then release your pinky to the 1st fret on the G string, and I just play those 2 notes, the D string and the G string, okay? that's it. Those are the two sections of the song, and that's the way it's played. So I hope you enjoyed the lesson, and I'll try to do more stuff from the Revolver album because it's so incredible, right? One of the most eclectic albums ever. So all the best to everyone, and we'll see you guys real soon.